Talk about Keir Starmer stepping down as UK's Prime Minister. Guy Davies is a producer in our London bureau. He's going to get up to speed on this. Guy, it is good to see you. Let's talk about this top search right now because it is, why did Keir Starmer resign?
Hey, Gio, good to see you. Quite simply because he became too personally unpopular to govern. We had local elections in the UK last month. They're a bit like the midterms in the US, and that they're seen as a kind of state of play for how popular the government is. And the Labour Party performed really poorly across the board. Keir Starmer has been personally unpopular. He hasn't been able to claw back trust after some really damaging revelations about the appointment of Peter Mandelson to be US ambassador. He was a long-time associate of Jeffrey Epstein. Just recently, he had a row with the defence minister who resigned over a lack of funding for the UK military. So it's been a range of issues, but the writing's really been on the wall for a while now.
What do we know about his politics? And obviously, was that a reason for this?
Well, he's a centre-left figure, really, but part of Starmer's problem was that he didn't really seem to inspire people or tell a big-picture story for where he wanted the country to go. He U-turned on key issues. He was someone seen as perhaps a safe pair of hands, steady, even boring. Then he struggled to connect with people when he came under pressure. Crucially, he resisted joining in with the Iran war, but so did all of America's European allies. And in his 2 years in office, we didn't really get a sense of what his political vision was, and that was part of the problem.
So, Guy, who's replacing him now?
Well, we thought there might be a leadership contest, but I think it's more likely we're going to get a coronation. Andy Burnham, who up until recently has been the mayor of Manchester, he's been elected to be a member of parliament. He's got the backing of hundreds of Labour lawmakers. It looks like he's going to run unopposed. There won't be a general election. He's a familiar face. He's generally seen as someone who's more personable, more popular with people, and I think that's why the Labour Party have turned to him as a kind of antidote to Keir Starmer.
Well, do we know about his relationship with Trump versus Keir Starmer's?
We don't know that much about Andy Burnham. He's been popular locally, but on a national level, we just don't really know what his vision is. I think he's got his work cut out. The Labour Party are tanking in the polls. The Reform, this right-wing party led by Nigel Farage, who does get on with the US President Donald Trump, they seem to be doing quite well. It's a couple of years out until they go nationwide with another election. But Andy Burnham is a bit of an unknown quantity on the national scale and on the international scale, I would say.
Guy, before you go real quickly, why have there been so many resignations for Prime Minister in the UK?
Well, that's exactly what the next Prime Minister needs to figure out, and quickly. I mean, each of these Prime Ministers has been dogged by different issues. There's Brexit, which is a key theme, but there have been personal scandals, economic incompetence, cost of living crisis here in the UK. Ultimately, though, I think there's been very little trust in the British political class and the two major parties. That's something Andy Burnham will have to figure out how to address very quickly, how to lay out a compelling vision for the country and connect with ordinary voters, Gio.
All right, well, you've got a busy couple of weeks there in the London bureau. Guy Davies, thank you so much. Appreciate it.